Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel where English comes alive through powerful and inspiring stories. Today we're diving into the life of a true game changer, the artist who reshaped modern hip-hop and created a sound the world had never heard before. This is the story of Future. From Atlanta's, Future's real name is Nayvadius Damon Wilburn. He was born on November 20th, 1983, in Atlanta, Georgia, a city that would later become the center of hip-hop innovation. Growing up in the Kirkwood neighborhood wasn't easy. Money was tight, opportunities were limited, and the environment around him was often unpredictable. But one thing was always present: music. Future's mother worked hard to keep the family together, and although his father wasn't consistently around, Future was never alone. The biggest influence in his childhood was his aunt, Stephanie, a key member of the legendary Atlanta music collective known as the Dungeon Family. She encouraged him to write, to express himself, and to stay close to music instead of trouble. And soon, young Nayvadius began hanging around the Dungeon family's studios, a place where legends like Outkast, Goody Mob, and Organized Noise created timeless music. It was here that the older artists started calling him Future because, as they said, he sounded like what hip-hop would become. Inside the Dungeon family, Future wasn't just watching, he was studying. He observed studio sessions, learned how to structure songs, practiced melodies, and discovered something crucial. He had a natural gift for blending rap with melody. While most rappers focused on lyrics alone, Future experimented with melodic flows, emotional delivery, atmospheric beats, vocal effects that made his voice feel futuristic. These experiments planted the seeds of what would later become his signature sound. But his teenage years were complicated. Life around him was chaotic, and he faced pressures many young people in tough neighborhoods experience. Still, whenever things went wrong, music pulled him back. Future later said that without the Dungeon family, he might have never pursued music seriously. By the late 2000s, Future was fully committed to music. He began releasing mixtapes, slowly building a local fan base in Atlanta. His early tapes included 1000, Dirty Sprite, True Story. These projects weren't massive nationally, but in Atlanta they were everywhere, in cars, clubs, block parties, and studios. Future wasn't just gaining fans, he was defining a new sound. His melodic, emotional, auto-tune-infused vocals made him stand out. He wasn't copying anyone, he was inventing something new. The turning point came in 2011 with Tony Montana. The song spread like wildfire. For the first time, Future's voice reached across the United States. Producers, DJs, and even other rappers began asking the same question: who is this guy? In 2012, Future released his debut album, Pluto. It wasn't just a record, it was a statement. The album blended trap, R&B, and futuristic melodies in a way nobody had heard before. Songs like Turn on the Lights, Same Damn Time, Magic showed that Future wasn't just another rapper. He was a visionary. His voice wasn't perfect in a traditional sense, but that was the point. It was emotional,
raw, human, real. Fans connected instantly. Pluto turned Future into one of hip-hop's most exciting new artists. But he was only getting started. Between 2014 and 2015, Future entered one of the greatest creative streaks in rap history, a run many fans and critics still talk about today. He released 3 mixtapes that changed everything.
Monster dark, emotional, and atmospheric. This tape showed Future's vulnerable side and introduced a new wave of production. Beast Mode, a collaboration with producer Zaytoven, filled with soulful trap beats and flawless chemistry. 56 Nights. Inspired by a difficult personal period, this mixtape became an instant classic. Fans were shocked. Each project felt stronger, deeper, and more experimental than the last. This era created the future that would dominate the next decade. In 2015, Future released DS2, an album that would take his career to its highest point yet. With hits like Where Ya At, Trap Niggas, Stick Talk, Future became a global star. His voice was everywhere, in clubs, on radio, online, in playlists, and at festivals. Later that year, he dropped What a Time to Be Alive, a collaborative project with Drake that became a cultural phenomenon. Jumpman became one of the most popular songs of the decade. Future wasn't just winning, he was defining hip-hop's entire sound. In 2017, Future did something that had never been done before in Billboard history. He released the albums Future, HNDRXX, just 1 week apart. Both debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. No artist had ever achieved this before. This made Future one of the biggest artists in the world, a streaming powerhouse, a cultural icon, a true trap pioneer. His influence became impossible to ignore. Artists like Travis Scott, Lil Uzi Vert, Juice WRLD, and many others openly said that Future shaped their sound. Future wasn't following trends, he was the trend. Future continued releasing chart-topping projects: High Off Life, The Wizard, I Never Liked You. He collaborated with the world's biggest stars and maintained a loyal global fan base. His impact is everywhere, in the sound of modern trap, in melodic rap, in vocal processing styles, in the emotional, vulnerable storytelling of today's artists. Future created a blueprint, and a generation followed. Today, he remains one of the most streamed and most influential artists in the world. Future's story teaches us you can start small and still change the world. Creativity can lead to new genres and new generations. Your voice matters, even if it's different from everyone else's. Future didn't just dream of success. He built a new sound, a new culture, a new movement. He didn't just predict the future. He became it. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the life of Future, the man who redefined hip-hop and created the soundtrack of modern trap music. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next episode. See you in the next story.